Lesson 5, this is climate change real? We're going to be discussing the paired t-interval today. All right, please turn to your packet. Is climate change real? Let me show you kind of what we did in class. So the first thing what we did is we're going to randomly choose a spot in the Earth. And so in order to do that, all the longitude lines in the Earth are between a negative 180 and positive 180, and the latitude lines are between negative 90 and positive 90. And when I did a rand-INT and found a random number, I found mine was negative 156 to positive 20. Then I went ahead and went to this link that you can see, and what it does is this actually has all of the data going back about 100 years or so for the Earth and the temperature and other things like that. So my particular spot is Honolulu International Airport, is the longitude of negative 156, latitude of 20, and the temperature in about 1900 was 25 degrees, and the temperature in about 2000, a little before 2000, was about 25.7 degrees. This is Celsius, of course. This is Honolulu, so don't think that we are some cold place, obviously. So the difference in the temperature is going to be 25.7 minus 25, which is 0.7 degrees. So there was a 0.7 degrees Celsius change from about late 1900s to early 1900s in Honolulu, Hawaii. Then what I had is I had everybody do the same thing, and they had their own unique place. So you might have had Moscow or Los Angeles or any place in the Earth, and you did the same thing that I did, and we graphed it. So you can see like 0.7 of mine is right here. This is my data right there, because that's 0.7. So I had other students do the same thing, and we went ahead and I had 32 total students participate in this activity. Now you can see where I have marked at 0. Anything at 0 means there's no increase or decrease. Anything less than 0 means the temperature has decreased. Anything greater than 0 means that it's increased. And of course, answers are going to vary depend on what class you have and what sample you have. So then I put all this data into the calculator and found the mean is 0.35 difference, so about an average of 0.35 degrees Celsius increase, and the standard deviation of 0.296. And we had, of course, 32 complete samples. Now notice I have X bar diff, meaning difference, S diff, standard deviation difference, and N diff. Okay, so, and then your calculator does all of this for you as well. So the next thing I want to do is construct a 95% interval. Now we've done the 95% interval, and I'm going to give you the formula for this. Okay, so the formula for this is X bar plus or minus T star S over square root of N. Yes, we have two lists. We have list 1, temperature 1, and list 2, temperature 2, but the only list we're interested in is this third list of the difference. So we're going to treat this like a t-test, even though it is a paired t-test, but we're going to treat it like a t-test because I have one list in my calculator. So let's go ahead and do our panic, which we have P parameter, and that's going to be, of course, this is what I'm studying, and I'm studying the true mean differences in peak temperatures from the late 1900s minus the early 1900s. The confidence level is 95%, and that's just how much percent we decide to study. We're doing a paired t-interval from U diff, and we have random. Yes, because we had 32 locations, and normal, and of course 32 is bigger than 30, so we are set for our conditions. So that's my conditions, my assumptions and conditions. The name of the procedure is a paired t-test for mean diff, and my degrees of freedom is going to be n minus 1, which is 32 minus 1, which is 31. Okay, so now to do this, you're going to go ahead and you're going to go to menu. You're going to go to stats. You're going to go to intervals, confidence intervals. And this is going to be a t-interval. And we're going to go to stats, not data, because if I have data, it's giving me a list of data. So if I put the list of data in like we had, then yes, we could definitely put the list of data. But what we would do is I'd have list 1, list 2, and this would be list 1 minus list 2. And this list here is the list I would use. But since we have already have what X diff equals and SD equals, all of these things, we're just going to go to stats. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to that. So we're going to remember this is the data we're going to use. So I'm going to just take note of that. And we're going to go to our here, menu, stat, interval, confidence intervals, and we're going to go to a t-interval. Remember I told you we're going to do stats. So click stats. Okay, and my X bar is 0.35. My S is going to be 0.296, and my N is 32. And I have a 95% confidence, and you can see my confidence interval is from 0.243 to 0.456. So that's telling me that I have an increase of temperature between 0.243 degrees Celsius to 0.456 degrees Celsius on average. All right, so this here, and that's what I got. So now this shows me that that's my interval, 95% confident, my conclusion, that I have a increase from 0.24 to 0.46 degrees Celsius, and it captures the true mean difference. So yes, it is convincing evidence of global warming in this particular experiment, because I have that 0 is not in the interval, and it shows that that both of these, since 0 is less than 0.24 and 0 is also less than 0.46, we do see, actually we have an increase in temperatures. So we're always checking 0 because 0 means that there's no change. Okay, so when we have no difference, we either have negative differences or positive differences. You can calculate your differences using your calculator. Your calculator will do all of that for you, and you don't have to do any of the calculations. And then we're going to do the process that we've been working on. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do one with a list of data. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to put this list in list 1, this list in list 2, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and type that in with you, and then I'm going to show you how this one works, because this works with being able to do the same thing, except this time what we're going to do is we're going to go to Menu, Stat, Interval, Confidence Interval, and we're going to choose T interval, and we're going to choose Data for this one. Okay, so let's go over here, but first of all thing you're going to do is get a list and spreadsheet, and so I'm just going to put list 1, make sure you label it, so I'm just going to go ahead and label it list 1, and then I'm going to go ahead and label the second one list 2, and then the last one I'm going to label diff list or whatever, diff list. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and just enter the data in. If you remember, the list 1 data was 5, 5, 4, 3, 8, 5, 0, 0, 2, 11, and 1. List 2 is going to be 16, 23, 5, 7, 14, 24, 6, 3, 15, 12, and 0. Okay, so remember, we're asking for the difference. This is I didn't read the startup for you, but you can go back and read the startup. But it's going to see, it was measuring the depression based on giving caffeine versus no caffeine, placebo caffeine. So we want the differences. So literally, I'm going here to the formula one, the bar you see where there's an equal, and I'm going to put A, because I'm doing list A minus list B. And then I hit enter, and then it does it for me. This diff list is what I'm going to use when I run my test, excuse me. So let's go ahead and open up calculator page, menu, stat, interval, T interval, and now we are going to choose data. So the data, I'm just going to go ahead and choose diff list. That's the only list we choose, and that's all you have to do. If we're doing a 95% confidence interval, which I believe that's what it asked for us to do, and let me just double check and see if it asked for 95%. 90%. Okay, so let's change that to 90%. So this is going to be 0.9, and that's it. And hit OK, and here we go. And here's my interval right here. So you see that you could go and find the standard deviation and everything else by hand, but if you're given a list, it is so much easier to just go ahead and do the data like what I just did. But remember, I don't want list 1, I don't want list 2, I want list 1 minus list 2. And guys, you're welcome to just do this by hand too. You could just put a list in. 5 minus 16 is negative 11, 5 minus 23 is going to be negative 18, So you're welcome to go ahead and just continue and go one list after another, and so forth and so on. All right, and so then everything else is just going through panic. And if you need any, and everything else is exactly what we just did. So if there's anything else that you need and you need me to talk through anything else, let me know.